Yes, he kind of wanted to hit those two reds, but he just flicked the pink ball on the way through. And clearly the high value colours where they are not in play yet. The reds are nicely scattered, but nothing to go with them. So he will try and bring them into play with the right angle on the blue, as he tried there.
13.
Very little angle this time. Virtually straight. To the point where he hit the wrong jaw.
18.
Strange shot, because he could have just run through and played on the red that's along the cushion on the left. He could have just run through and been on that, but the shot he did play was quite a bad judgment. Mistake. I just feel it's not cut and dry this is going to end anytime soon. I feel there's a twist or two to come in this match yet. Just sense that. Could be wrong. There's a gap through to the red. How about that? It didn't seem possible, did it? You see the configuration of all the reds, and he can't believe it either, that there was a gap through to that red. It was just enough to pot it. He's not going to, unless he opens the balls up, make an awful lot, but he can just get himself going again here. And of course he can bring balls into play, but he would certainly need to.
$14. 15.
That's not a good shot. Wanted to be straighter. I thought perhaps if he could have got up top side of the blue, that would have been a better way of opening the reds. Now I think he'd have to screw the cue ball onto the side cushion here, because he can't directly hit a red. Wow, he got some zip on that, but then he found another gap.
21.
Parting in the Red Sea to these reds that he can pot.
This is the kind of table which requires a bit of Bruxelles magic to turn this break into something of consequence. He's already produced a couple of terrific pots to keep it going. But of course, he's on the brink now. He can't afford to make any more mistakes and leave Wilson a chance, because that could be it for him.
Yes, he had the right angle there, but as you point out, you know, missing that black and opening the reds could have been the last shot he plays at the 2025 Masters. But another problem, if the black respots, then the red he wants to play won't go. But it's going up onto the yellow spot, which is handy
29.
for him.
$30. $36. $37.
Once again, just a slightly straighter angle. Could have gone into the reds, but I don't know if he can do anything with the four reds that are next to each other. Clearly, he can't disturb those. I think he can get to the right-hand red, but whether he could chip that into the others, and it all gets a little complicated. And I think that's all he could do, is hit the right-hand red of the 5. See if he could make that work in his favour. It's only a 19-point lead, but a couple more reds and colours would put him in a strong position.
He was so thinking about the cannon there that he's missed the pink.
It's mad how that happens, isn't it? And every player's done that.
All of the frames this evening have been free-flowing, featuring big breaks. This one is the first rather scrappy-looking one. One that Kyren Wilson hopes will carry him to the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's probably not a coincidence, though, that it's this deep into the match, is it? Because as we know, this is when things can start to happen. Your mind can play tricks, frames become more scrappy, mistakes are made.
Foul.
Oh, that's the push shot of all push shots, isn't it? And it was called straight away.
Look up itself for.
That secondary kiss was handy for Kyren, because had he not got it, he might have left this red.
Yeah, I mean, he hit that about 4 times, didn't he, I think, on the way through. The cue ball nearly went past the red. Just a few signs that it's not just Luca who's having a bit of a wobble. You know, Kyren has just played a big push shot, followed by a very poor safety shot. He's got to get over the line. It's not just one player's problems here, and it's not all about the Belgian, because it seems that, you know, if Luca can get this frame 1, the pressure is coming back on the world champion somewhat. Played that with left-hand side, but the cue ball didn't really ever bend back towards the potting angle. I mean, 23 points by way of a lead. It's a handy lead, but when you see where the balls are, it doesn't mean, the world, really. It's just nice to have it, but the balls are quite good for any chance of a counter-attack from Wilson. This is the frame, isn't it? As Philip was saying, where there's been no semblance of a break. All the others, there have been plenty.
'71, '67, '64, '78 and '55 from Wilson. '96, '84 and '83 from Brissell.
Yeah, well, Kyren checked to see whether that left-hand red was on, because I must admit from the other camera angle, I wondered if it was potable, but clearly he'd already checked that out, so it was a okay defensive shot that Kyren Wilson played. It's quite a nice shot, left-hand side, check side.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it's just a question of putting distance between the cue ball and all the reds here. Sometimes there's not an obviously really attacking or difficult safety shot that you put your opponent in. You've just got to put a long distance between the balls. And I think that was one of those. deep screw here. I think he knew it was coming. He was kind of unwinding into playing it. Does the red pass the yellow? It wouldn't be an easy starter, but yeah. Now, if he could play with an angle on the pink top side of it, he could possibly get the three reds open, and he could make something very significant happen here. It looks a fairly average opportunity, but it's not to say it won't be made into something very good. Interestingly playing on the black there. I'm not sure it's that easy to get the reds open from the black. Anyway, it's clearly a reason to get the black on its own spot.
A 20-minute frame, which is already the longest of the match. It's been very free-flowing stuff. The average frame time before this one, just 13 minutes and 22 seconds. So this frame very much at odds with the others, but a vital one, of course. And the black goes astray, and the tension is growing. One of those rueful smiles, which we're so accustomed to seeing from snooker players when they're unhappy.
Well, I think he missed a trick there, Kyren, because I don't see why he had to play on the black. I think he could have got the reds open from blue or pink. It's all gone a little bit Twilight Zone-ish, isn't it, this frame? You know, and if it went 5-all, I don't know what it would be like. But it's been a very free-flowing match, but the pressure of it all is starting to hit both players.
Not the most inviting situation, this, for Wilson. The red's right over the hole, but can he get to the other red to pot it? Clearly significantly hampered by the black.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a long way away to that red, as you can't even get to it directly. I don't think you can get to the other red to plant it. I mean, nothing will compare, I don't think, to the frame that Kyren Wilson won in the decider in the 2020 Lockdown Championships against Anthony McGill. Because that decider was, well, it was just bonkers. But it's kind of a little mini version, this frame. Now what is the question? It's a good shot, for one.
You just say, now what?
I think he could play cushion first onto the black here, you know, and he would block off the red with the blue and pink. So cushion
Black
first
ball.
onto the black it is, which guarantees the red is not going to be potable.
Kyren Wilson 1.
So what does Luca do here? He doesn't really want to break the other three reds up because they're safe. So he's going to try and pop the red over the pocket, but I don't know how. Big swerve, maybe. Yeah, I think he is going to. It would be a huge swerve, but I think he's capable of playing it. Cue right up in the air, cueing down on the ball, perhaps. Yep, he's unleash. Sort of, well, what's he doing? What's he doing here? I've no idea what he did there. That
Foul
looked
and a
to me
miss. Kyren Wilson 4.
like one of the worst shots I've ever seen.
2 ball.
Well, he's famed for his shot making, but this was ambitious, to put it mildly, and he didn't get close, in truth.
Well, I was waiting for something to happen that I hadn't considered, and nothing ever did. What did he even play?
Thank you.
Wilson's still got the problem of the trio of awkward reds,
1.
gradually whittling down this modest lead of Brussel's in the frame he needs for victory.
Well, that has put a very different complexion on this frame. And that has brought a little bit of normality to a frame that was starting to go a little bit crazy, quite honestly.
8.
I'll say no more, but you know, I've got absolutely no idea what Luca Brissell played with that red over the pocket. We'll leave it there because it was strange. It might be costly.
It was certainly a brilliant cannon from Kyren Wilson to change the complexion of this frame. And he's just been that bit more reliable this evening in a match that has been very open, full of breaks.
14.
Quite a few errors as well at times, but Wilson's made less of them, that's the bottom line. That's why he's now in a position to clinch frame and match.
15.
In his bid to renew rivalries with Judd Trump, who beat him last year in a decider in the last 16. And also got the better of him in the semi-finals of the UK Championship. But of course, Wilson was on the right end of it in the finals at the Xi'an Grand Prix and the Northern Ireland Open. But he's still got to finish the job.
Nineteen.
He has missed a couple with the rest this evening, including one that cost him a frame.
Still a terrific shot, that one, though, wasn't it? I mean,
20.
he was a remarkable player with the rest. One early one he hit much too hard, but that one he didn't hold back on either, quite honestly.
Into the lead by just 3 points. Can he get nicely on the yellow off this pink? If he can, he could be in business. No, the pink stays out, having to dig down to screw back. So Luca Brissell wins a reprieve in what is a dramatic, slightly surreal frame of snooker.
Thank you.
Well, that was a lovely shot. The man in the chair would have been proud of that rest shot. Beautifully played, and now all of a sudden, there seems very little to stop him getting another frame back, and he felt a twist there. Even when Kyren was clearing, he looked under pressure on some of them shots. So this match is getting very interesting now.
Nine.
Just needs blue and pink to close to within one.
14.
Kyren Wilson had the chance, missed the pink. Luca Brissell pots the pink, and with it keeps his Masters hopes alive. Going for just his 3rd win in this tournament tonight. His first semi-final, and he could still make it happen. A slightly odd frame, but it's gone the way of the Belgian bullet.